Hey everyone, this is Shane with Kindred Dog PDX, and today we are talking about leash holding. Leash holding is very important. Allows us to have better communication with the dog. This is a tool, and knowing how to use a tool is what makes the tool effective. So I got Boa here to help us out, and it's one of the things I see a lot outside are people just holding the handle. They're at the end of this leash and the dog's at the other end. They can't really do anything. You got to extend your arm completely out, just to communicate with the dog. I try and get her to sit, and I'm like, that's just it's not very effective, right? At the same time, if she decides to bolt off after a squirrel, this is probably coming out of my hand, or I'm being dragged to the ground. The next one that we see a lot is the battle rat. The wrist, the hand goes through the loop, and then this gets tightened up around the hand so they're ready to restrain the dog. Again, this is it's a very fixed position, and it doesn't allow for good communication. It only allows for good restraining, right? And that is not what we're trying to do when we have the dog on a leash. What we tell our clients to do is actually to use a thumb lock, which is putting your thumb through the loop, right? We pinch down low, and then we close everything in our hand, and we get this thumb lock, right? So, if the dog takes off, this comes out, we still got a good hold of the dog, right? At the same time, we send the dog out to go to the bathroom, we can give the dog the leash, it can even choke back up on the leash, If we're walking and the dog starts getting tired, I need to give her more leash, but then she gets like her second wind. I'm able to choke up on the leash, right? This is never a fixed length. It's always moving up and down, right? Another one you can do is the same concept, just instead of using the thumb, you can use the index finger, right? Fold it, and now you have a finger lock. Instead of the thumb lock, it's now a finger lock. Works the exact same. Dog goes to the bathroom, boom, tries to run off, we got the dog here. I personally like to actually do the finger lock, but then I like to kind of fold like a third of the way and then pinch at another third. So therefore I can use my middle index or my middle ring and pinky finger to use as like extra leash communication. I can do little light leash taps, little leash pops to send information. If I'm trying to tell a dog to stay back here to form a boundary, I can use that, right? Or the dog's getting fixated on something, little like, hey, let's look this way. It gives me a lot of options to communicate with the dog. Another one I've seen is essentially you grab about another third, and then you just essentially grab in the middle of the leash and pinch with your index and your thumb, and you're left with the same kind of concept. You have your last three fingers able to communicate with the dog of what you're wanting from them, right? These allow for the leash to extend and to be shortened, as what the dog needs, right? I'm not just going to assume that the dog is going to stay right there and be perfect. The dog, it's a living being, it's going to decide to do things, We're there to help the dog make the best choices. Us being in a position to be, versatile, we can, change, adapt. That's what's really going to help us when we are out with our dog. Another thing to think about is that we want the leash to be short but not tight, right? So, depending on where you're at in your walk progress with your dog, your leash could be You know, just have this nice little loose dangle, you know, but it's pretty much straight up and down. You know, the collar isn't activated or anything, but you have movability with it, right? You can activate it with subtle movements, and that's essentially what we're looking for. Everything to be subtle, right? Less is more. Yeah. If you guys find this video useful, share it, and